Welcome. It's 11 o'clock. Oh, actually, no, I lied. It's 9:15. And you know what that means? It's time for the Gamesphere's News Network broadcast. I'm Steven, used to be known as Ninja, and today I am here with my co-anchor, Paradox, and I have to cough.
Oh no, he's got the Rona, everybody run!
Oh no, the demonetization virus. Welcome to this. If you didn't know, GNN is just us going over recent news and stuff because we don't want to dedicate a whole episode to it in case it gets really delayed, which has happened a lot. Paradox, who are you?
I'm Paradox, and you kind of ruined that whole staple by introducing me first.
Oh.
Anyways, so do you want to start, or do you want, or should I go first?
Okay. Well, first we should go to our weatherman, Bill. You go, Bill. What's the weather like?
It's raining sideways!
Bill?
Did you miss my joke, or are you just ignoring me?
Bill's dead. I missed your joke.
I was doing a bit, I forget which show it's from, but there's the guy who plays, he's a black actor, he does a lot of black voices, but he played Aquaman in Young Justice, and there was some, I forget the show, but he might have been a Family Guy, where he played a news anchor, and every time they asked him what the weather was, he just screamed, "It's raining!" And then one episode, he says, "It's raining sideways!"
Oh yeah, I know that one. I'm sorry about that.
You're like, "Bill, what's the weather?" I'm like, "It's raining sideways!" And you're like, "Bill's dead!" And I'm like, "This is not how this is supposed to go."
The joke doesn't work. Well, maybe it's a thing where... Nah, I'm not going to go into a multiversal theory.
Speaking of black actors, though, quick in memoriam, I don't know if I said that right, but for Chadwick Boseman, who played T'Challa in the MCU, he's had other roles. I only know him from the MCU.
He was Thurgood Marshall, the main character in 21 Bridges, Jackie Robinson.
Are you just reading his IMDb?
No, I know that stuff off the top of my head.
Okay. Anyways. It's a shame to have lost him, especially to cancer, but at the very least it wasn't COVID.
Yeah, that's true. So...
You will be missed.
This episode is dedicated to him. And this broadcast is dedicated to him.
Now let's try not to dishonor his memory with our normal shenanigans.
Yeah. So let's get on to this. To our first story. So Paradox, you want to go first, or do you want me to tackle the first one?
I can go first. So our first topic.
Okay.
I believe I've briefly mentioned my D&D experience in a couple of episodes, but our first topic is about a new book from, I believe, Wizards of the Coast. Yep.
Yes.
For Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, this book is called Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, of Tasha's Hideous Laughter fame. If you don't play Dungeons and Dragons, Tasha's Hideous Laughter is a very well-known spell. So Tasha's Cauldron of Everything is supposed to be written by the same Tasha. And it's got a lot of stuff in it. It expands on a bunch of subclasses, such as Artificer. I tried to say that the first time, and I messed up. It's supposed to change around the way race works in the game. By the way, these rules are optional if you prefer the vanilla setup for the races in 5e. And it's supposed to also add a bunch of new feats and class features, which I believe would kind of come with the fact that there's new subclasses. Introduces group patrons, which adds its own perks and as well as assignments. New spells, artifacts, and apparently magic tattoos. Gives you rules for supernatural environments, natural hazards, sidekicks, and parlaying with monsters, and helps explain about running a Session 0, which, again, for those who don't play Dungeons and Dragons, a Session 0 is essentially a session dedicated to introducing the world and the characters that we'll be playing, so that everybody isn't asking the same questions in Session 1 about what's going on, who everybody is, what kind of spells they have, blah blah blah. So it's a bunch of new and interesting stuff that's being added into 5e. In my opinion, it's a little disappointing that they're not adding any new classes, but the subclasses is kind of cool because it's Unearthed Arcana, which means it's stuff that's been in the process of being play tested up until now and has been deemed worthy of being like officially documented in a D&D book.
I'm still worthy.
Yes, because before it was not worthy.
That sounds cool.
Just looking over another article to see if there's anything I missed. I don't think there's anything. So that's pretty much it for that.
You sent me an article earlier about this that I was forced to read because you held me at gunpoint.
No, that was Erik, actually.
Yeah.
He was just wearing
Erik
a mask
just came up
of my face. No idea where he got it from.
And I was looking through the comments, and apparently all the art's being done by Wiley Beckert, who apparently has really nice art.
Looking at it, it does look really good.
It looks very fantastic, and I really like the style of it. And like that's one thing that I own the basic one, basic D&D thing, and it's just really fun to just kind of like flip and look through all the art and stuff.
So something I want to say is a big thing I've heard complaints about with this book and what it promises, especially as far as like new stuff with race, is that it makes it so that like certain things aren't tied to race, and it's like some people have disliked the way that not only like how certain races are better for certain classes than others, but also in the case of like orcs bad being a big thing, and this is supposed to be like an official way of saying like, hey, orcs don't have to all be bad, and it's like, but why did we need a book for it? Also, like, the point of like no race is like necessarily better equipped for any class, really. Anybody who's actually ever played D&D will know that you can play any class with any race, and if it doesn't seem to work, that just makes your character more interesting.
So
besides, there's always multi-classing, so like, you know, if you don't like what you've got already.
Okay. So what you're telling me is any character in the game, right? Any like of the races can play this homebrewed Ben 10 class that I found online.
If your DM allows.
Paradox, will you allow it?
If I ever run a session, maybe.
Okay. Let me Let me send you a link to it.
We'll have a link for that in the description if you want to check that out. If we got any... Well, I know we've got some Ben 10 fans, but I'm not sure how many, actually roleplay. So, next topic.
Easy.
We never really have a good way of segueing.
Oh, I know how to segue. This is how we do it, okay? So, since this is a news show, we just go to, we go to, yeah, we do that, yeah. I was gonna go to sports, but commercial break's way better.
I just used the same joke Chris did in the last one.
Oh, well, guess what? Chris can't sue you. So, remember, will Paradox survive to, will Paradox survive, will Paradox survive? Be sure to tune in, wait, advertisement. Put an ad break here, please. Okay, we're back. He did survive, sadly.
Oof! Wow.
Before we get to our next story, let's go to Frank for sports. There aren't any sports going on. We fired Frank a while ago. Okay, back from sports. No one won. My story. Hey, Paradox.
Yes.
You know how Comic-Con just didn't happen this year?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take your silence as a yes, because I think either I cut out for you or you cut out for me. Yeah, I know, right? It sucked. There wasn't any outsource for a bunch of the normal news that we would normally capitalize on. And the Comic-Con panels that did happen, to be completely frank, I didn't watch. You want to know why? Because all the big players just took themselves out. All we got was a Magic the Gathering thing, which already up front said they weren't announcing any new cards, and a Cartoon Network one. And I probably should have watched that one, but I didn't. But DC decided to make it up to us. You know what they did?
What?
They did the DC Fandome through their DC Universe app, where they just... I don't know how it happened. All I know is they just released a bunch of trailers and stuff. I'm not educated on what the DC Fandome is. I think it was just a live stream where they previewed things, and I'm pretty sure the announcers were small. And they announced a bunch of trailers. People have probably already covered the Batman trailer that was released. Wonder Woman 1984 released this trailer. Wonder Woman 89, it's my sequel fanfic. And probably some other stuff I'm forgetting. But the thing I want to focus on is the Suicide Squad DC Fandome exclusive sneak peek, which I have linked to you. Now, all this is a glorified behind-the-scenes thing, where it just goes in and people say vague things and show vague clips of what's happening. But it's our first behind-the-scenes look with all this, and it confirms John Cena's in this. And he's playing a character who is strong, I'm assuming. He's just John Cena. And to be completely honest, John Cena as an actor is nothing, compared to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. But I prefer seeing John Cena in a movie for no reason than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I prefer knowing he's in the movie, knowing his presence is there. I really did though, to give him credit, I loved his...
The thing is, though, Ninja, is that he's in every movie. but you just can't see him.
Yeah, I loved his work in The Invisible Man. He did that really good. So we got a bunch of things, and I'm really excited because they said that, like, they're not scared to kill anyone, pretty much. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'll do it, I'm not afraid, I'll do it!
Like, yeah, exactly. It's just like, we're just gonna do this. And James Gunn, the director, said that this is probably, like, his biggest movie he's made. Which, like, I think is a good sign that he has a lot of creative control on this. Because, like, he has a lot of creative control on the Marvel movies, but there's still some input. But what I like about DC movies is no matter how, like, the quality keeps fluctuating, God, they are different from each other, and I love that. You never know what you're going to get, and I'm excited for this one to see where it's going to go. And it's going to be really fun. And Polka Dot Man's in it, and I'm excited for that, because there's a chance we could see Kite Man, hell yeah, and Condiment King. And who doesn't want to see Condiment King? Do you want to see Condiment King, Paradox?
Only if I get to bring my wieners.
Okay, you can go ahead and bring your wieners to the movie theaters. But yeah, I'm really excited for this. I didn't hate the other one. I thought it was just alright. But I think this movie's going to be good because it doesn't really care about the previous one. I think it's set in the 80s, if I remember correctly, 80s or 90s. It's set before the other one. So, like, it just doesn't care about continuity, like, at all.
So we can completely ignore the whole El Diablo dude just, like, dying.
Yeah. Idris Elba's in it. Margaret Robbie reprises her role as...
I gotta say, I don't know why there's something weird with my brain, but when you said Idris Elba, my mind for some reason flashed to Elton John. I'm like, what are you doing? That's not even close to the same person.
Yeah. Pete Davidson's in it. I'm excited for that. I like Pete Davidson. I thought he did a good job, a decent job at least. And, how do I phrase this? And the King of Staten Island, I thought that was a really good thing. This is very rambling, because I kind of chose this topic last minute, because we decided to do the topic I was going to talk about in a future episode, maybe. So yeah. But I'm actually 100%, I'm genuinely excited for this movie, because it looks like a big, dumb superhero movie, but in a good way, you know, where it's trying to be that. It's trying to be big, dumb, stupid, funny, in like a Deadpool way, but without breaking the fourth wall. It feels like Guardians of the Galaxy, which makes sense since it is James Gunn. But what do you think, Parados?
I think it's interesting.
So you hate it?
No, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do different for this movie, in comparison to the previous Suicide Squad movie.
Have you seen Shazam?
No, actually.
Oh, well, Shazam's a really good movie. It feels like the 2002 Spider-Man movie with tone, you know? I think this movie's going to be around that quality. I don't think it's going to be as good as Joker, you know? Where it's like a full-on, like, movie that's trying to win an Oscar. But the Suicide Squad, I feel, is just trying to be a fun movie that you want to watch over and over again whenever you're just bored and you want to get hyped up. I like those types of movies a lot.
The
ones you can put on.
My brain, like, auto-completed that sentence as when you want to get high.
Yes. Actually, there's a chance it might be like that.
Okay.
Depends on how trippy and colorful it is. What? It depends.
It depends. Now I'm dying.
Oh, great. Look at Paradox, everyone. He's getting high in the middle of the recording.
No, I'm not. I am not.
Alright. Well, while Paradox sobers up, we're going to go to a commercial break. Alright, we're back. Paradox, like, stabbed two of our cameramen. We're down 2 cameramen.
No, that was Erik again.
So if you... Oh, great. God, why do we keep getting you guys confused? So, if you want to apply to be our cameraman, we have a Google Doc. We have a Google Doc down in the description, so apply there. Or a Google forum. What do you use? We have an application down in the description. Go fill that out.
Did you say we have a forum?
Before we get on...
I mean, we have a subreddit, but nobody goes there.
Yeah, I'm the only one who's ever posted there, and it's just the cursed image of me, that I photoshopped Ronnie's icon to dab. It's art. So before we go to our final thing, let's go to Jan for traffic.
I guess he got hurt too.
Wait, Chopper 6 is down? How long has Chopper 6 been down? Then why didn't you tell us Chopper 6 was down before we started recording? I just told them to go to traffic. They have to go to some kind of traffic.
That was...
No, don't show Hot Wheels footage. No, that's... Why are you showing Hot Wheels footage right now? My God. And we're back. Paradox, would you like to... This is a GNN debate where Paradox and I just are going to talk about this topic.
How's it a debate then?
You'll see.
Okay, so next up we have Nintendo's making another Switch.
Is that Ronald Reagan in our studio? There he is, Ronald Reagan. Look at him.
I gotta look up if Ronald Reagan
Ronald Reagan. Ronald, do you want to record a voice clip? No? You lost your voice while coming back?
Ronald Reagan died 16 years ago.
Well then, Ronald Reagan won't speak, but just know he's on this episode. Please put Ronald Reagan in this video now. A Nintendo Switch debate featuring Ronald Reagan.
So far we've had Obama and Reagan on. This is such a prestigious podcast.
We just need 43 more. And then we'll have them all.
Oh boy. Alright, so Nintendo announced that they were going to be doing another Switch. That was the wrong tab.
Well, wait. They didn't announce it. That was the Switch Lite you're referring to,
nope.
right?
Reading from iMore's article about it, Nintendo's updated version of the Switch, or the Switch V2, as some retailers refer to it, first showed up on store shelves in August 2019. What?
Oh, right. The new and improved one with the battery update, right? It's bigger battery.
This
and it has
why is it mentioning 2019, though? Model...
So what happened with this? And I have a friend who has a new one. It's not really a new Switch. The old Switch had a sucky battery life, and that was a problem.
No. There is one.
There is one. Oh, there is?
It's been switching over to Tech Radar's article. It's been long rumored that Nintendo is working on a Nintendo Switch 2, but if there are plans for a follow-up to the original Switch, we know it won't be coming in 2020, as it's been confirmed no new consoles will launch this year. After Nintendo released a streamlined, more affordable Switch Lite, rumors of a premium Switch console, a Nintendo Switch Pro, if you will, offering upgraded hardware with improved graphics and processing power. You mean if I plug it into my TV, it won't be 480p? Nintendo says it isn't worried about the upcoming PS5 and Xbox Series X, which herald the start of a competitive new console generation. Okay, so... step on Nintendo's toes in the development of digital-only devices like the Xbox One and all digital and the disc-free PS5.
Yeah. So
yeah, in 2019, Nintendo released two new Switch devices, Switch Lite and the Switch with improved battery life. However, we're still expecting the House of Mario to have yet another new Nintendo Switch up its sleeve.
So,
So it doesn't seem like there's anything really. Well,
set in stone.
obviously redesigns cost money, and redesigns with improved hardware are doubly so. We're expecting Nintendo Switch 2 or Switch Pro. This updated hardware to cost more than the current Switch, which is about $300. Switch Lite was about $200. Dr. Toto. Okay, so we've got Toto from The Wizard of Oz. It's Dr. Toto and Dr. Oz fused together. Dr. Toto suggested a price tag of $399, which seems a good estimate. After all, the PS4 Pro is $100 more than the PS4. That doesn't really matter. The price markup takes into account the improved hardware without being prohibitive. However, this is Nintendo we're talking about. We won't be surprised to see Nintendo Switch Pro or Nintendo Switch 2 cost a tad more than that.
So, the way I feel with like this whole thing,
there's a whole
right?
lot of stuff on here.
Yeah, so I read through that article earlier, and
possible dual screen, interesting.
Yes,
the Switch DS,
and yeah. So to get back to what I was talking about, I read through it earlier, and I've seen a lot of the history of rumors for like Nintendo stuff of late, and a lot of the stuff that seems credible, like the remember that Star Fox F-Zero game that was supposed to be announced at E3 like what was it 2 years ago?
That flew under my radar because I wasn't paying attention to that 2 years ago.
Well, there was announced a Star Fox F-Zero type game, and all the sources seemed very credible, but it never happened. Same thing happened 2 years ago with the with Switch VR, supposed to be like a thing, and then it turned out to be Labo and stuff. A lot of these rumors are like just digging in and poking at things that aren't really going to happen, like that I don't think will happen. Like I don't think we're going to see a Switch Pro in any capacity, really. I think we got the Switch Lite, and I don't think Nintendo's the type of company to triple dip, you know? We already got 2 versions of the Switch. If there's a third version, then it's going to cause problems with the market, and then it's going to confuse, like, why should I get this more expensive Switch if there are 2 cheaper ones? You know, especially since the Switch Lite has a clear difference between the Switch, which is the ability to dock and undock, while the Switch Lite can't. Introducing a third Switch market would confuse, for lack of a better word, casual consumers, which Nintendo markets towards the most.
I guess, but
I don't think it's going to happen.
This is the same company that, like, the first, like, 5 consoles they made all just had Nintendo in the name.
That's true. And arguably they still do.
It's like Nintendo Entertainment System, Super Nintendo, you had, like, the Nintendo 64.
The N64. Nintendo GameCube. Nintendo Wii. Then there's the Wii U.
Well, no, I guess it's the first 3. No, they had more than... I guess...
But now the Nintendo Switch is...
Yeah, there's a Switch, but, like, GameCube, just think of it as GameCube. Don't think of it as, like, the Nintendo GameCube. Or the Wii, you don't think of it as the Nintendo Wii. Those are called by themselves. But you don't think of the Nintendo Entertainment System as just the entertainment system.
People just call it Nintendo, actually. Just stuff like that. It's definitely like... You are correct in that assumption. And you know what? If this turns out to be a Surfetch situation where I am completely wrong, I will go ahead and accept it.
I will play it twice in the video where you get dunked on, and the second time it will be base boosted.
Perfect. I am willing to just go out there and say I don't think we're ever going to see a Switch Pro.
If I wake up tomorrow and Nintendo Switch 2 is trending on Twitter...
That is the most poorly aged... That is like the speedrun record for most poorly aged thing ever.
And that would be before this video even goes up.
Exactly. I'm... As of August 31st at 9:44.
It's August 30th.
Oh, wait,
it's
it's
August
August
30th. 31st. What are you over in Australia with Chris?
On August 30th at 9:44 p.m., I, Stephen of the Spears, say that there will not be a Nintendo Switch 2.
Bom, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum.
You know, that's... Yeah, God. So, that's what's happening. That's what I think. I think all the, like, the code stuff, I think people are just kind of leaning into what they want, like, specifically. Because the same, like I said, the same thing happened with VR. It just turned out to be Nintendo Labo. No one even cares about Nintendo's VR anymore. I think it's a cool idea, but Nintendo's always kind of been more of simplicity with their consoles than complexity. Like, they're not like PlayStation or Xbox where they're like, yeah, look at our hardware limitations or our hardware and how fast we can go and stuff. Nintendo's just like, we have this gimmick, we make this gimmick good, you play. And most people are just like, gimmick decent, we play. Except for the Switch. I really like the Switch's gimmick, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Please tell me you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes.
Were you cutting out for me and I was talking over you?
I don't know.
Okay, sweet. You got any notes on the thing? Because I kind of hijacked that. I'm sorry, Paradox.
I've never been, like, huge in the console game. I got a Switch way after it was that big of a thing. Like, shortly after the Nintendo Switch Lite came out.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 2DS way after those were cool. What am I saying? Those were never cool.
Yeah.
So, pretty interesting though. If it does become an actual thing, it'll be interesting to see how they improve it, if it is. But
yeah.
It's all just speculation. So, is this the end of the podcast?
Well, no. This is the end of the broadcast. So, I was Anchorman Steven.
And I was co-Anchorman Paradox.
Bill's dead.
And so is
I don't
Janet,
remember
was it the other one? And
I think it was Janet.
Whoever the other person was, Frank. And the two camera people.
Yes. So be sure to fill out the Google form. And remember, stay cool, San Diego. And
follow us on Twitter
epic.
At GCastOfficial.
That stuff.
Check out the subreddit. There'll be a link for that. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. Because who doesn't want more of us, eh? Also, check us both out. ParadoxMM_ on Twitter. Stephen the Spears on Twitter. And I've got an album coming out soon. Drum and Basics. Check that out. New song coming out this week. Sunrise Vista. And that's it.
And yep, and I am working on 2 videos at once, one of which for this channel, one of which for my channel, which be sure to check out. And remember to stay epic. Sweet, that was good, Paradox. Proud of you.